Good morning, my dear students. Today I want to teach the topic is reflex action, reflex arc. With more benefit to you for getting minimum of 1 mark in a Neet. That is the one question in a Neet. Small topic, but having more importance towards the Neet. Classical example for reflex arc is Ncert complex. Ncert complex. Here, this reflex arc is autonomous, involuntary, unconscious. Reflex arc is A. Unconscious, B. Involuntary, C. Autonomous, D. All of the above. Answer is all of the above. It is unconscious, it is involuntary action, it is autonomous action. What is the classical example for reflex arc? Ncert complex. In this, I am taking that is this is our leg, this is our foot. Here you go for pernicious mastic. Leg is a take back. Leg is the take back. There is some root is there. That is the reflex arc root. Here, whenever causing a pain or cold touch or hot touch to the leg or hand, here some sensory receptors are there. They are having some sensory receptors. These sensory receptors taking the signals. These sensory, there is that pseudo-unipolar neuron is there. There is the pseudo-unipolar neuron. See in the Ncert diagram, there is pseudo-unipolar neuron is given, a small dark bit like that. These sensory signals are taken by the pseudo-unipolar neuron. This is a midbrain. This is pons feruli, medulla oblongata. This is the spinal cord. This is our cerebellum. Step 1, sensory action potentials are taken by the pseudo-unipolar neuron. These sensory action potentials that are sent to that spinal cord. Here there is the diagrammatic representation for spinal cord is there. The spinal cord here. This is the anterior side, this is the posterior side. This is said to be the dorsal root ganglion. This is the dorsal root. This is the dorsal root. Here, these pseudo-unipolar neurons, taking this pseudo-unipolar neuron, functionality concerned, they entered into the dorsal root ganglion like this. Very, very important question. And dorsal root ganglion of spinal cord, what type of nerves are entered? Pseudo-unipolar neurons. What is the function of pseudo-unipolar neurons? They taking sensory action potentials towards the spinal cord. This neuron is said to be as afferent neuron. This is a afferent neuron. Afferent neuron, which is taking signals toward the central nervous system. Type of afferent neuron is pseudo unipolar neuron. This taking action potentials to the central nervous system, and here there is a interneuron is there. There is interneuron. These sensory signals convey it to interneuron. Then there is a multipolar neuron is there. This is the motor. This is that motor nerve, and they get be coming towards here like this effector organ. It is the effector organ. Leg is the effector organ. This neuron is said to be as efferent neuron. This neuron is the efferent neuron. This is the root. This root comprises minimum of afferent neuron and efferent neuron. Again I am recap it step by step, small thing. Reflex arc is unconscious, involuntary, autonomous reflex. Classical example is Ncert complex. Here, any hot, cold, pain touches to the our, for example, take leg. Our leg get be taken out. And diagram, actually this is having this is like this. They get be take back. Here, step 1 is sensory signals are taken by the pseudo-unipolar neuron, and that get be sends signals to the spinal cord. There is the dorsal root ganglion at which this is entered. Later it get be conveyed to matter to that interneuron. Interneuron from there, motor neuron or efferent neuron take the appropriate action potentials toward the receptor, toward the effector. Toward the effector. Sorry, this is the effector organ. Then our leg get be moved off. Questions? Reflex arc is unconscious, A. Unconscious, B. Involuntary, C. Autonomous, D. All of the above. Answer is all of the above. Question number 2. Sensory signals are taken by the neuron is called afferent neuron. Question number 3. Afferent neurons are entered to central nervous system at dorsal root ganglion of spinal cord. Afferent neuron is functionality concerned sensory neuron. They send signals to interneuron. From interneuron sends that signals conveyed to motor neuron. Motor neurons coming out through ventral root ganglion. They send signals to effector organ. Effector organ take back. I think this knowledge is more benefit to you for read. This reflex arc up to that Neet level. If you like it, please subscribe my channel. Thank you and all the best, my dear students. Thank you. All the best.